In this video, we'll be covering the best ways to wire up your amber Raptor lights on your TRD Pro 4Runner grill. There's been a little bit of confusion on how to wire these 3 Raptor amber lights for the 4Runner grills, and I know a lot of people are skeptical, especially when it comes to electrical things. They don't want to mess anything up, and I totally get that. And so today I'm going to walk over a couple different ways to wire these lights and kind of explain all the methods I use and just overall show you exactly what to do. Also, for those of you that don't know, we started including a nice little wiring kit into our 4Runner Customs grill orders. This little kit, it's not very complex. As you can see, it only has 3 things. It has a nice add a fuse itself, and a ring terminal. And these will be used for wiring. It just makes everything plug and play and really simple. So I'm going to show you exactly 2 different ways to wire it, and then we'll go over each way. So we're going to start really basic. I'm just going to show myself putting these lights into the grill itself. I'm just picking one full hexagon, sliding it in. And yeah, there we go. I'm gonna space these out symmetrical with one gap in the middle. Again, just sliding it in, letting it click. And then the last one. So the 2 different ways I'm choosing to show you how to wire it are making use of the external fuse box and then the internal fuse box inside of the vehicle. So I know I traditionally talked about the wiring it to the internal fuse box, and that way plays off of the lights will always come on when the car ignition is on. So headlights or no headlights, they'll be running. And then the new way comes to the external fuse box, and that allows you to toggle the Raptor lights on and off depending on whether your headlights are on. So we're going to go over both ways. We're going to start with the external fuse box. So opening up the external fuse box, there's 2 clips here in the front. And then there's one in the back that's a little bit tricky. I already took it off for time's sake. But as you can see on the underside of the fuse box, we have a lovely little diagram of all the fuses. So the fuse we're going to be using is this 10 amp headlight low right hand right here. It's located on this side. I already have it plugged in, but I'll take it out for you. It's right here on the top. There was a 10 amp fuse there. I pulled the 10 amp fuse out, and I added it with the 7.5 that comes in the kit, just right here. And when I did that, I just plugged it right back in facing this way. And that is what gets the power to the lights. From there, I was able to, this is the open end of the wire harness that comes with the lights. I fed it right into here, crimped it down with some pliers. Also a good idea would be to put some electrical tape around it just to make it more sturdy and secure. But I haven't done enough wire running yet. This is just the very first part of it. And then over here we have the ring terminal that comes with the kit on the ground of the battery, and then it is crimped to the black wire of the open end fuse. And again, I'm going to do some more hiding the wires and getting it all smoothed out, but I just wanted to show you the basic concept of it. That's pretty much it. So I just hooked up the lights to the wiring harness. It's just a little clip in. And now I can move on to showing you how the lights turn on with the headlights. So we're in the vehicle. We're going to go ahead, crank it up, coming on the outside. So as you can see, this is where it differs from the other. The car's on, the lights are off, the headlights are off. Come back in here, flip this headlight knob, and there they are. The headlights are on and the lights are on. So this is a really, really good way to wire it. I think I'm going to be running this from now on. Let's look at the running lights. We have it flipped halfway, running lights only. And as you can see, they're off. So when the running lights are on, they're not on. It's only with the headlights. That's why I wired it to the headlight fuse itself. Come down here. Turn on the high beams. They're still on. So even with the high beams, they still work. It's basically just wired into the headlights themselves. So I've done a little wire management, tried to kind of straighten everything up, make the wire run out the side here, clean everything up. So now all I got to do is put the fuse box back on. All right, so I had to use 2 hands to put that fuse top back on, but as you can see, it cleans up pretty nice. Now all we have to do is kind of do some wire management on these and clean everything up. But I ended up using a zip tie, putting it through this little piece on the grill here, just to kind of get all that hanging wires out of the way, and then I run it down on the edge of the heat shielding. And then from there, I considered zip tying it to this, but I don't know. You probably could run it through the heat shielding down to here, but for now I'm just gonna kind of tuck it back here and decide what I want to do. So now that I've showed you how to wire the lights externally, we're going to go over the wiring option for the internal fuse box. So the first thing to do to get the wires into the inside of your vehicle is tape the end together. And what you're going to end up doing is using this to go through the rubber seal and get the wires themselves into the inside of the vehicle. So I'm just showing you where I'm going to end up pushing the wires through on the top of the rubber seal. Now you want to take your razor blade and make a cut into the rubber seal. You can do just one cut or you can do an X cut, but just make sure it does not interfere with any other lines going into the inside of the vehicle. So just push down and make the cut with your razor. Once you've made the cut, you are ready to insert your metal piece into the opening you have made. Just place the metal rod in the hole and give it a little push and it should slide right through. Next, you're going to want to push the metal rod about 6 to 8 inches into the hole. That way you're able to locate it inside of the vehicle. After that, you can go to the inside of the vehicle and use the flashlight to locate the metal rod poking through at the top of the rubber seal, pictured here. You can now tape your wires to the back of the metal rod and pull them straight through. You can then take off the tape holding the wires together and take off the ends of the wire that cover the copper. Then attach the ring terminal to the black wire with pliers so it can become the ground wire. Next, attach the add-a-fuse device to the red wire and then add the fuses 10 and 7.5 in this exact order. Then slide the add-a-fuse up under the bottom of the dash and into the fuse box panel below the steering wheel on the left side. You then need to choose what fuse you will be tapping into. I chose the cigarette lighter because it turns on with the ignition and it is not mandatory to the operation of the car in the event that a fuse blows. You may now insert the fuse into the fuse box, but it is very important that you insert the fuse with the add-a-fuses going off to the right side because this correctly lines up the line side and load side of the fuse. Lastly, you can use a socket to unscrew the screw to the bottom left of the fuse box and attach your ground wire around the base of the screw. You can then hide the wire up behind the plastic piece on the side. At this point, you're all done with the installation, and when you turn on your car, your Raptor lights and the grille should turn on with it. Yeah, so that's how to wire the Raptor lights. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and feel free to check out my other 4Runner videos on my channel. Are you finally ready to make your Toyota stand out? Elevating the style of your vehicle does not have to be difficult. Check out 4Runner Customs with the link in the description today.